Hello, salam, shalom, namaste, aloha, sat sri akal, hola, and bonjour. Welcome once again. And I'm so excited today. I have my friend Shaz with me, and Shaz is actually an intuitive empowerment coach and a spiritual business mentor. Shaz, will you tell us more about what that really means, who you are, and what you do?
Sure thing, Samia. Thank you very much for having me. I work predominantly with women and I love helping them tap into their intuition because I believe intuition is the inner voice of self as well as the connection to spirit and the wider universe. And through tapping into that energy, we create alignment with our soul's purpose and our mission here on life because every person comes for a reason, and the faster we get into that reason, the clearer our life is, the better we can create and manifest the desires that we have. So I help women find confidence and trust in their intuitive voice and listening to their inner guidance of self and creating that connection with their higher self, spirit guides, the universe, or whatever they like to call the essence of God. And through that creation, they then are able to manifest and create their environment through raising their vibration, shifting their mindset, and focusing on their true passion and purpose or the mission that they are here to complete on earth. And I love it. I just love watching women uplift and rise and follow that heart's passion, because my true essence is that I believe if we get enough women empowered to take over the big jobs in the world, that the world would be a much better place
Oh,
because we have much more compassion and we would change things so that there would be no hunger, there would be no starvation. There is more than enough resources in the world for everybody to live comfortably if they were managed better. And the uprising of women needs to happen because the world is falling apart around us. And the way we do that is through creating massive change person to person. And one person affects another, and that in turn affects another, and then in turn affects another. And we affect that with love, vibration, compassion, kindness, healing, and more.
yay, I love that. I'm with you on how necessary it is for us to connect with our intuition. I'm with you on how much we really need to create change, especially create change in ways that are loving and compassionate. I'm so 100% with you on that. It's just awesome. So I know one thing that that's sort of unique about you. I mean, unique from the perspective of the vast majority of people, is that you are um, an energy healer. I mean, you practice different forms of healing, including
Mhm.
Reiki, and you're also a psychic healer and so forth. And, you know, I know, like, I'm actually a Reiki healer myself, and I've also studied another form of energy healing. So I move around a lot of people and hang out with a lot of people who do things like this, like you and I do. But most people are not actually familiar with energy healing work and psychic healing and all that kind of stuff. So can you tell us a little bit more about what energy healing is about and what it entails?
Okay. Energy healing for me is clearing blockages or resistance within the body. Now, our body communicates with us predominantly through pain. So any muscle aches, pains, disease, illness, or other bodily issue, whether that's full extremes of cancer, autoimmune disease, colds and flus, aches and pains, falling over, tripping over, any of those irritations in life, or it's called disease for a reason. It's
Yeah.
disruption and unease within the body. And that's how our body communicates with us. And when we do energy healing, we focus on the areas that are causing the disruption and we heal it through energetic processes. And Reiki is a universal process that it's called universal life force healing. It was passed down through Master Yusui, and he received it through meditation and processes. And it's based on symbology. There is a lot of symbolism in it, and you use the symbols to send energy to others. But you don't need symbols to send energy. Energy is created simply by clapping our hands together and rubbing. Everyone can do it. And when you do it, you start to feel a vibration in between the hands. And as you run that along the body, the auric field, the meridians, the chakras, the like the aura, the esoteric and etheric body, subtle bodies of the body, because we're more than just the body itself. We are energy centers all throughout. You can shift and change them through the energy and through the focus of the mind of what you're sending. You open your heart or call forth your guides to send love. And it's all based from pure and simple unconditional love.
Yeah.
And we can heal everything with love. Love, my favorite saying is love will set you free because it will overcome everything, and especially from fear. And with love, if you put the right energy, the right process and the right practice into it, you can heal practically anything. I know many people that have healed cancer from just energy healing alone without going to a doctor. I know many people that have healed autoimmune disease from that. But each of those diseases, illnesses, or whatever is teaching us a life lesson, and it's attached to an emotion. And if you clear and shift your soul's purpose for that emotion, you can clear and shift most energetic blocks and things like that. That in turn does not say that all cancers will be cleared like that, depending on the depth of just energy healing alone. There are many different ways that you can facilitate it, depending on what you choose to do through healthy eating, alkalinic change to the body, vibrational healing, energy healing. And energy healing is not just Reiki, it's all different forms. You can use toning. I use aspects of hypnosis for it. I talk to the subconscious mind. You use things like EFT. You use what other vibration. So toning can be anything from, I've got crystal bowls and crystal bells. I have, and the power of crystals in themselves. You can also use voice toning. You can sing. You can use vibrational toning for different instruments. That's why there's music out there. There are hertz frequencies that can shift and change the vibration within the body and manifest shifts to disease, because disease can be changed.
Right. Yes. And one thing that you said that I really want to highlight and just sort of really bring people's attention to, that it's really the power of love that brings healing. The ultimate power of healing is actually through love, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most of the miracles that you hear of people praying to God and calling forth wishes for their loved ones to be healed from things that most people wouldn't survive, it is the power of love of self and of others that have healed that. Any type of healing, any sensory sensation that we send to others needs to be based from an open heart chakra, without judgment, without context, and pure unconditional love. When you send that and you feel that and receive that, it can change everything.
Yes.
The biggest aspect of energy healing is that the person that is going to get it, they need to open their heart and their essence to say yes, that they want it, because you can't heal someone that doesn't choose it, because that is their one. The biggest thing in life is we have free will, and they have to accept and want it. So you can't go and heal someone who doesn't want it. If their mindset or their mind is programmed to not heal, that nothing will change that. But the mind is the most powerful tool that we have. And if you utilize that attached through the heart, you can shift and change anything within the world.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you raise a very, very important point. I remember one of the teachers that I was learning energy healing with, like within the space of 2 days, he taught us whatever he taught us. And then he said, now you can do everything that I can do. And the only difference between one healer and another in terms of the results that they're able to achieve is the level of surrender that you have because as a healer, you realize, you recognize that it's not you doing the healing, you're just being a channel of the love.
Absolutely.
And so the more deeply you surrender to the love, the better you can act as that channel for love.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, on the other side, for the people who are receiving the healing, just like you said, it's about their willingness to accept that love, to receive that love, because yeah, we have free will. We have free will,
And to surrender their doubts and their fears. So the surrender is both ways.
that's
I
right.
surrender myself to spirit and I allow the energies, entities or beings to come and work through me. I'm just a pure channel. I allow the energy through my body to come through, and you can feel it at different vibrational frequencies, and the essence of love and the ability that they have to come within your body to manifest and process this change is magnificent. There is no true way to describe it. It's sublime.
Yeah.
But in it, no matter what I give permission to, if the person that is wanting the healing does not surrender their doubt and fear and the self-sabotage and aspects of self that can deny, they need to feel worthy of it. They need to accept that they can receive it, that the power is there to be for them, so long as they're willing to surrender their control to take it on board. If
Yeah.
their mindset is fear-based and they're not willing to allow it to happen, and they're so closed off, you could have the most powerful healers in the world and there's nothing that will get through, because that's their protection and that's their entitlement. But the greatest gift that anyone can give is to freely send love from a pure heart of unconditional love, and to have it freely accepted on the same space. So knowing that healing energy or energy work can't harm, because that's not what it's meant for. Yes, there are ways people can use energy to harm people, but not in a healing aspect. And it's based on, it will only work to a degree based on the amount of self belief that you have that can work. Someone can go up and say to someone that they curse them and they will make that happen. Other people can say that they do something negative to someone and they will deflect it, reflect it, or return it to the person that's sending it, depending on their self-belief. And our own personal choices make a big difference for that in life.
Yeah, that's true. Since surrender is such a key aspect of both how we become more effective healers and how we receive more better healing, can you share some of your wisdom around how can we learn to practice deeper surrender? Like, what are some obstacles that prevent people? You mentioned fear, for example. So if fear is holding me back from practicing deeper surrender, how can I respond to that fear so that I can practice deeper surrender?
Okay, so fear is everything. The only thing that truly overrides fear is love. So
Mm,
if you lack self-worth and you don't have any love of self, you need to surrender the fear or the dislike or any negative thought or pattern that you have for self, and surrender it to love and higher vibrational feelings like compassion, enlightenment, gratitude, appreciation, anything, joy, peace, all
mhm.
of those essences that are pure. And fear will stop us doing anything. And fear is a fight or flight response within the body. And the greatest thing that most people fear is death.
Mm,
So when we become overridden with fear or get into anxiety or anxiousness, deep depression, everything like that, the fear response is a physiological response in the body to the fact that our mind thinks that we're going to die.
Mm.
And the easiest way to show our mind that we aren't going to die by doing things that are good for us is to open up your heart and to take small, tiny steps and allow it to happen. So a lot of people have different fears for many different things. You can't overcome a fear through the shock value, because the physiological response in the body, you'll cause yourself to have a heart attack. But if you do simple things, if you can't allow yourself to receive healing from somebody else, give it to yourself.
Mm.
Find a tool or an aspect that you can do it for self. If you feel harm is coming from a third party, you have to trust that you're not going to harm yourself. If you are in a state where you are harming yourself, then you stop and you replace that healing with love.
Mm.
There is no true way that anyone can override deep fear for someone else unless they are willing to surrender and change. And if the fear is that in depth and it's that ingrained based on horrific circumstances, and most fears are, they're from traumatic events, then you use things like tapping to get rid of it, or hypnosis, or deeper mind work to get past the barriers to release that physiological change.
Yeah.
Now, from personal experience, when I was about 10 or 12 years old, I can't remember the exact age, but it was around those times, a friend of mine had a huntsman in a jar.
Mm.
And then my brother got the jar and he opened the lid and he threw the huntsman at me. This spider crawled all over me. Now, huntsmen have seersucker legs, and they're like little suction cups. And I can't tell you the horrendousness of the feeling of it crawling over me. For years and years and years, I was afraid of tiny, tiny, tiny spiders. Like huntsmen, I'd scream. You know the pictures where you see people burning down the house because there's a spider in it? I was all there. A friend of mine introduced me to tapping, and we did tapping to release the fear. Now, I can still feel that seersucker on my body because it's a memory that will never go away, but it doesn't create the same fear response in it, the hatred of self, like I used to get high blood pressure, really bad heartbeat. I can now talk about it, feel it, and still know that I'm perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Now, the other way to override fear is to provide safety.
Mm.
So if you feel fearsome for anything, just keep repeating to yourself, I'm safe and well, and take a small step. I'm safe and well. Because safety is the opposite. Fear and the response is a feeling of unsafe, or the fact that you are doing something that may cause you to die,
Yeah. So anything
because
that,
that's where it creates from.
yeah, yeah. So in order to help yourself surrender more deeply, uh, tap more deeply into self-love, and if
Yep. And
fear
safety.
is holding you back, do what you can to help yourself feel more safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes just even tiny little steps forward and giving yourselves reminders that you are actually safe in the moment
Absolutely.
can
Yep.
help you start moving forward. Yeah.
Like a lot of people suffer panic attacks and anxiety, and I've suffered them myself. One of the great ways to shift out of panic and that overwhelming attack is you disrupt the body and the physiological of the body, because panic attacks create fast breathing, hyperventilation, you get accelerated heart rates, you become out of control. But if you like tap on your body like this, you can interrupt the physiological pattern. And while you're doing that, if you keep telling yourself that you are safe and well, that you are full of love, that you're surrounded by loving people, you're in a good place, you can pull yourself out of that panic attack very quickly. And that's an energy vibrational frequency that a lot of people don't realize. Now, I taught people this long before I ever had my true first panic attack. And then after some circumstances a few years ago, my anxiety was overridden because I was trying not to do something that went against the grain of the person that I was. So in order not to do something, I would create anxiety within my own body, and I had to sort through some mindset to fix it.
Yeah.
But that panic attack that happened was in a public place, and I was in the middle of, like, I was at a beach and surrounded by lots of people. And if you actually ask, nobody really noticed that I had it, but I was about to have a meltdown. And through playing, just walking along, playing, I call it playing the drums on the body. You do it on your thighs, on your chest, on your arms. You disrupt the physiology of it because the accelerated breathing will cause you to pass out. The accelerated heart rate will cause you to block out, black out, anything like that. That's what anxiety at its core does.
Mm-hmm.
But if you disrupt that pattern and you bring yourself back to the present of here and now, repeating statements like, I am safe, I am full of love, I am protected. You can call forth angels, energies, whatever you need. You can change that environment through yourself. A lot of people think energy shifting and energy healing has to be done through a third party, and that's where they struggle. If you start doing it for self first, you can learn how to do energy healing for yourself. You can get attuned to Reiki. You can get attuned to any other healing. You can practice EFT. There's videos on YouTube. You can learn hypnosis. You can do whatever you need to do. It's through doing it for self that you'll find the safety to allow other people who are more experienced and better at it to do it for you. You will get so far with self-healing, but I can guarantee that you'll always want to have a qualified, connected, or someone that you trust as a third party to help you through the greater barriers. It just works better from somebody else because they can get past barriers that you can put up. Unfortunately, the greatest thing that humans do to themselves is self-sabotage. They block the resistance and the greatness that they have inside of themselves through different beliefs and mindset and lack of courage.
Yeah. And one of the things that I realized in my own experience is that like I was holding things and resisting love and healing at times and in ways that I didn't even recognize that that is what I was doing. I thought I'm surrendering. I thought I was, opening myself up to receive all the love that I needed to receive and opening myself up to receive all the healing that a part of me certainly desired. But I didn't realize that there was another part of me that was resisting and blocking. And and because I didn't even realize that that is what I was doing or part of me was doing, I couldn't overcome that resistance and that, blocking and all that until I started working with a teacher and they were able to point certain things out to me and sort of help me along, Um, even something as simple as, like if you're holding your body muscles in tension, that can block your ability to receive love. And actually the fact that you're holding your body muscles in tension is a sign and a signal that there's something inside of you that's blocking, that holding, that's not quite ready yet to release things. And so until my teacher, for example, I remember one time he was like, Samia, why are your hands all curled up? Loosen your hands, relax. Even more. I didn't even realize I was curling up my hands, that kind of thing. And yeah, so I agree with you that sometimes, what you need to do is just start by doing what you can to help yourself. And that can take you far enough in the healing process that you can then begin to bring in someone else that you are able to trust to help you.
Yeah, it's really funny that you mentioned that holding it in your hands. A lot of people don't even realize how they hold tension in their body. They think that they're nice and relaxed. If you ever want to discover whether you are truly relaxed, just sit there and take note of where your jaw is, because most people clench their teeth and they don't realize it. And the other thing is that sit there and ask yourself, is your tongue touching the roof of your mouth? Because when we're relaxed, it shouldn't be. And most people will sit there thinking or overworking or being caught up. They'll think they're relaxed, and especially during meditative times. But if you just relax the lower jaw and let it drop and pull your tongue away from the roof of your mouth, you will get greater breath as well as deeper relaxation in the body and muscles.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the simple thing that whatever you're working on, whatever is going on in your life and whatever issues that you are ready to resolve, they will show up for you, whether it's through a trigger or predominantly for me, in most experiences that people find next phases that they're ready to pursue, to grow and to change in their life, it comes up in pain in the body.
Yeah.
Whatever the pain is, like last year I was struggling, one with lockdown and two not being able to do everything, and I ended up with bursitis in my shoulders. And I healed that pain through working on the growth aspects to self. I had my gallbladder out that had to get fixed, and because I was ready to get back into doing things and my body wasn't ready, but because I wasn't feeling pain from my gallbladder surgery, it was very healed because I did a lot of energy work on it. It healed really quickly, but I still wasn't ready to go back to the full aspect of what I needed to do. I accidentally ended up jamming 2 fingers in the garage door, which put me back another 6 weeks. So when you are rushing or doing things, you'll fall over, you'll knock yourself, you'll sprain an ankle, hurt a knee, get a back injury, a shoulder injury, whatever. There are a couple of books on the market. One is called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay, and the other is The Body is the Barometer of the Soul by Annette O'Toole. Now, they can help you understand the underlying emotional attachment to body parts and pains, as well as cars, engines, and things like that. Now, the universe will talk to us far beyond what we're ready to listen to. We all think that we surrender. We all think that we're full of love. And I know lots of people that will tell me that, yes, I love myself. I know who I am and I'm full of power and I'm ready to go. But when I sit down and I'll scan their body and I'll say, okay, this is where I'm feeling, oh yeah, that is really tight. Well, what is that teaching you? What do you mean? Our body will talk to us through pain because it's the one receptor that we know that we can't not acknowledge. The further in pain that we get, the harder it can be. If you ignore niggle pains like ankle pain or knee pain and things like that and don't do anything about it, you will make that worse. But if you start healing the emotional attachment to those pain areas and working on the lesson associated with that and the life and the mindset belief and shift and change that, you will, one, get rid of the pain, but two, you will fix yourself along the way. So many energy healers go, yeah, I'm all good. And then you run a scan of the body or get someone to do. Another great energy healing tool is kinesiology, muscle tapping, and you can get an energy chart and run through the emotions to find out how many are stuck. I was doing a lot of self-work last few years, and last year I've gone, yeah, I'm pretty good. I asked a friend to do and scan my body. We come up with 47 emotions that were 47? Are you freaking for real? And I'm like, there is no way. But when I went and thought about it, I had bursitis in my shoulders. I had a knee problem. I had a foot problem. I had this. And I just worked through them. My body is feeling fantastic. And I finally managed to start losing the excess kilos that I've been carrying by releasing those traumatic events and truly surrendering to spirit. When you surrender your life to that complete essence, what you need will show up for you. Yeah. I didn't even know that I needed that healing to that stage. I've just gone, yeah, I'm pretty good. Just tell me. I figured it'd be half a dozen, maybe 47. Are you kidding me? But do the work and you shift and change it. And from that, I've created a journal. I created an oracle deck. I've created an affirmation, that essence of self has skyrocketed. And our whole life is attached to the alignment of who and what we are with the universe. And the greatest way that we can talk to self and the universe can talk to us is through our body. Listen to it. If you get the inclination to drink more water, do it. If you're told to fix this vitamin deficiency, part of my things were vitamin deficiencies. I was low on vitamin D, I needed some more vitamin C, and zinc wasn't great, or magnesium. Magnesium helps you with cramps and things like that. All these things just show up. Fix it before it becomes a problem. Mm-hmm. And what can change in your life, your mindset and your body through doing this sort of work and shifting in yourself is quite amazing if you only let it.
Yeah. So much of what you were just talking about right now, in fact, pretty much all of it, it goes back to the idea of self-love, self-care.
Mhm.
Like, love yourself even more by taking even better care of yourself. If something's hurting,
Absolutely.
anything's bothering you is in your body or otherwise, don't ignore that. Take care of that. Love yourself even more. And that will, sort of draw more blessings, more abundance, more success into your life. Yay, awesome.
And
Any
also know that these pains and triggers or anything only ever happen when you are completely ready to release it.
Yes,
Okay. If
yes,
it comes up for you, do the work, let it go, heal it, release it, do whatever you need to do to shift it, because
yes,
that's the reason it's occurred.
yeah,
Otherwise it wouldn't come up.
exactly. So when a pain or problem comes up, you're ready to deal with it. And the other good news in dealing with it is that it, there's some amazing lesson and opportunity for growth in going through that experience and working through it, and that's the purpose of life. It reminds me of this saying that if you're not growing, you're dying.
Dying. Exactly.
So
Yep.
it's like actually a
That's
good
why you
thing.
learn something new every day.
Yes, exactly. And it's good that I have more things to learn because otherwise I'd be dying. I, so I don't want to be dying quite yet. I don't think. I've still lots to learn. So I'm happy. It's like about creating one of those mindset shifts. It's like new problem identified by my mind. I'm like, yay, awesome. Another opportunity to learn and grow.
Right. Yep. It's one of my favorites. I have two favorite sayings every single day that I live by. And I get up in the morning and I ask myself, what is this teaching me? So what am I learning today? And the second one is, how can I be of service? What can I do for somebody else to make their life better?
Ah,
So one, it's for me, and the other is for the service of the world. And it's the beautiful yin yang, and it's the complete balance of life. If you have that mentality and mindset each and every day, anything that comes up, any problem that occurs, any disruption that you have, the first question you ask, what is this teaching me? Because
yes.
you have a lesson to learn each and every day. It may be something new to read, to grow the mind. It could be something to do, shift the body. It could be anything minor, for anything, say like learning a new cooking, learning something in the garden, learning a new book, whatever it may be. Life teaches us all the time.
Mm,
So when you have that mindset of what is this teaching me, everything that you do can teach and open up the mind for expansion, because that's what life is. And then the opposite side of that is non it's for non-self, of how can you be of service? What can you do to help another person? So each and every day I have a conversation with one of my clients, friends, family members, whatever I can do. If, just say I'm isolated and not available to do that person to person, or I'm not on the computer that day, I will send healing to the
mm,
universe, to whoever needs to receive it, because that's being of service to others. It can be simply opening the door for someone, helping an elderly person across the street, doing something nice for a child, paying it forward, being kind, doing something for somebody else, just an act of service that is non-selfish. It's
yeah,
because that's what makes the world go around. The more that we give, the more that we get. And it's the perfect cycle, as I said, of yin yang, of energy giving and taking, and manifestation, because what you put out is what you get back.
that's right. I'm 100% with you on that, Shaz. And unfortunately, I have to stop our very interesting conversation for now because we're
I appreciate you.
time
Thank
for
you.
today. But I hope you will come back and we will continue to talk about more
Anytime at all.
interesting things. Yay, awesome. All
Thank
right, so
you.
thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. And we will be dropping the links so you can connect to Shaz and so you can connect to me later. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We are so happy to help.
Absolutely.
As Shaz was just saying, it's part of how we roll. Every day we think about how can we serve others and, deepen our own learning. So yeah, I think I will end as I began and say salam, shalom, namaste, aloha. Sat Sri Akal and hola, and I know bonjour is only for hello, so we will leave
Arrivederci.
that one for now. All right.
Arrivederci is a French goodbye.
Oh, is it? Wait,
Mhm.
you have to teach me how to
It's one
say
of
that.
the few words I know in the world.
Okay, say that again. How do you say bye in French?
Arrivederci.
Oh no, I think I'm going to mess it up. I'm not going to try. I'll have to practice that later and then I will give it a
Pleasure.
try. Oh,
Ciao.
ciao.
Easy one. It's
Okay.
Italian.
Yes,
Hello and
good
goodbye.
one.
Ciao.
Ciao. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode. Hope you're getting value out of it. For your information, this episode has been sponsored by the Happiness 101 program. Are you a change maker, coach, trainer, or healer? Are chains of fear holding you back from making the impact and income you desire? Using a unique combination of positive psychology and the spiritual wisdom of our most effective change makers, the Happiness 101 program helps you break through your limiting beliefs and manifest the abundance and success you desire with fun and ease. Interested? Book a free Happiness 101 exploration call with me, your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Just use my online calendar link in the show notes.